How to find the hidden listings in a short supplied market. That's what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned. The housing shortage has existed since as far back as 2007, 2008. And so we've been facing a shortage of needed available housing units for over 15 years. Recently, we had an increase in supply when interest rates spiked up here at the beginning to middle point of last year, 2022, and the inventory climbed, and that made more choices available. But here's what's happened again. As people got more comfortable with the interest rates where they had risen to, they started buying again. And now what's happening is supply has shrunk so that we're down to only about 4,000 units in our market. Well, that makes for few choices for our buyers. You know that. You've been going to the MLS doing a search for houses, and instead of finding 6, 8, maybe 10 or 12 properties to choose from to show that new buyer, now there again are only maybe 1, 2, or if we're lucky 3 or 4 choices. And so a lot less houses to choose from. And so how do you find the hidden listings in a market that doesn't have any properties available on the open market to show our buyers? Well, we've come up with a number of things that you can do, and that's what we're going to share today. The first thing is Zillow. Don't forget about Zillow. Zillow has a section on their website called Make Me Move, and that's a place where sellers who don't want to test the actual market, don't want to go under contract and put their property on the market with a real estate professional or on their own, but they put it on that Zillow under that Make Me Move. It's kind of a glorified for sale by owner section of the Zillow website. Oftentimes you can find properties that are there that aren't on the MLS or not on the open market for others to see, that you can share with your buyers and perhaps figure out a way to make a sale at a price that works both for the seller and for your buyer. Second thing, there's FSBO sites. There's one, forsalebyowner.com is one, or FSBO, FSBO.com. And so there's another place where sellers are going, then they're actively marketing their properties. They're just doing it on their own. It's time to go back to those avenues in a market where sellers still think that homes are flying off the market, and well, maybe they are again. The sellers are still moving to those locations to try to save some of those expenses, and that's a place where you may be able to find a property for your buyers. The third is the recent list of expireds and withdrawals. There were sellers that got frustrated in 2022 throughout that year and into the early part of 2023 before the market started to pick back up again, and they may be interested in coming back to the market. Some calls to the seller's properties who match those of your buyer can increase the options for your buyers and bring more properties for them to show if you find an old seller who's ready to come to life again. Get a list from the title company of properties that match what your client's looking for in a given area, and just reach out to, communicate with those owners, whether it's by calling or sending them a postcard or even knocking on their door. There's sellers in an area that may be thinking of selling who haven't brought their head above water yet to let everyone know, but you can reach them before that happens and create options for your buyers. And then the last idea that we have is talk to flippers, those who are buying properties and flipping them, and find properties in your target segment where your buyers looking, where they've recently purchased, and maybe they're in a process of remodel right now and they'll be bringing them to the market soon. There are a number of ways that you can find hidden listings out there, and your buyers need that today. There's just not enough choices, and when you bring more, you're likely to be their buyer's realtor of choice. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.